Well, what do you want to watch?
I don't know.
Any of these?
No.
What about these?
Eh.
Oh, how about this?
Okay. Hey, how's it going?
Hello, I'm Jessica
I am Nikki.
from NP&J. And we went and saw the Avengers Infinity Wars.
Yes.
Because everyone's going to see it this weekend, of course. And
Yeah.
we thought we would do an impression of it video, first impressions, before it marinated.
And impressions of it, not us doing impressions of the movie. Which
There's a
actually
lot of
might
smiling.
be fun to kind of do our own.
We need to try to do that. But because we do want to do movie reviews and, kind of a spiel with that. So we thought we'd start out with the impression of the movie of the decade. We've been waiting forever for this movie.
Building up, so. Well, the Avengers was a big build-up too. So
The Avengers was a big build-up, but the Thanos tease has been
the bigger build-up.
the bigger one. The first Avengers was great, but we really wanted Thanos, and we'll do a spoiler-free, and then maybe towards the end we'll do some spoilers, just some whatever.
Maybe. We'll see how it feels.
Maybe.
First impressions, enjoyed it.
Oh, I really did. What bugs me about a lot of superhero movies is the faceless army, that just gets annihilated. Mm-hmm. Even Marvel has had
like
a lot of
Avengers.
those, like Avengers and stuff like that. And there were kind of some elements of that, but we got to know more of the villains, and even though we really didn't know them real well, we could still kind of get their personalities and their, why they like Thanos, or at least their appreciation, worship of Thanos, and that there's a little less like some arbitrary, hey, I'm a bad guy because I'm a bad guy, feeling for the little minions.
It was good.
And then I really felt Thanos like.
They could have done a little bit more with his background, but they did well enough.
Yeah, well,
I think they did just enough.
I think they did a good balance, because from watching the X-Men with Apocalypse,
That was terrible.
I felt they did such an injustice to what Apocalypse means in the X-Men universe.
Oh, yeah.
That he just was whatever, he's gone. Whereas Thanos, I think they really did why he's such a big bad. I think they did him perfect justice, especially in the very, very, very beginning.
Well, a lot is because, as we know, a good villain is usually ones that believe what they're doing is right, and he wholeheartedly believes that. So
yeah, it made me think more of what they did with Fisk in the first season of Daredevil on Netflix. If you haven't seen that, I'd highly recommend it. I think they did. It very much reminded me of that, because where you actually. I felt more that I understood Thanos in this movie, as opposed to every other Marvel. Oh, I want to kill because I want to kill. The movie needs a villain. Yeah. I'm filling in that role. It's such a.
Since Loki, it was one of the better villains. We still haven't we still haven't seen Black Panther, which we heard has a really good villain as well.
Yes.
So
that's the only one we haven't seen yet.
We'll judge that when that comes around.
So it's weird seeing this movie knowing that I haven't seen Black Panther. I'm very sad about it. But
it was still fine though. On that note, for some people who haven't seen any or some of the previous movies that build up to this, it may be difficult, because there are some things that you draw back on from the previous movies. Mm-hmm. So if you go into Infinity War not seeing any of the others, you might be lost on a few.
Well, especially if you've never seen any of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you've only seen Captain America or Iron Man and all that, the reasons why Guardians of the Galaxy, why they fit in and all that. So they do tie in. I don't think it's as necessary. Maybe if you've seen one of each, one Thor, one Captain America, maybe Captain America too. You would probably need to see that. But yeah, I think do a binge on
you can still go into it and enjoy it.
Oh, so
it's just
good.
You won't catch all those nuances that come with having experienced the whole.
And I loved they let the actors act. There were just some moments where in any other films they would have just cut and moved on, but they let it marinate. They let it just kind of sit there. They let the actors react.
They've done that with Marvel movies in the past, where not just necessarily not letting them act out the moment, but switching up the tone of the moment. Mm-hmm. So they'll have a serious moment, but then they'll end it with a joke.
They'll immediately.
And they did that. Yeah. Just not as much.
Exactly. They gave it another 10 seconds before they threw in the joke.
Or not a joke at all.
Yeah. So I thought it was well balanced as far as the humor and the darker moments. It was for a Marvel movie, it was very dark. in comparison to a lot of the other ones.
See, that's the darkness that the DC universe needs to do, where it's not really dark, it's like faux dark, but still light, especially with Superman. But that's a whole nother topic.
That's his
I'll be doing that
point.
later. But yeah, Infinity War was good. Some of our predictions about who may have died or not died or whatever, most of it were wrong.
Well, I mean, if you predicted somebody died, most likely it happened. If you predicted no one dies, most likely it happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. They left a lot of foreshadowing.
Unless,
we have
of course,
theories.
we count Infinity War Part 2 in with that, then we might.
Yeah. Possibly. We don't know, but should we get into some spoilers?
Yeah, skip to this time code. I'll put it up somewhere. If you don't want spoilers. My sister said when I went to dinner yesterday, said that she already seen it, and her favorite parts were the Forge with Peter Dinklage, who I didn't know was in it.
Dinklage. Oh my gosh.
That was fun.
I knew it was him as soon as I saw. As soon as I saw him, like the full body. It didn't even show his face yet. I'm a huge Peter Dinklage. Before Game of Thrones, I knew who Peter Dinklage was. I loved him. Everybody knows who he is now because of Game of Thrones, and I absolutely have loved him for a while. But so I recognized him as soon as I saw the body shape, and I was like, and just that one line.
They gave him a good line. So there's a part where the Forge in space isn't working, and in order to make it work, Thor has to hold open the iris so the light from the sun can heat the Forge. Yeah. So he's sitting there about to hold it up, and he's like, "It's going to kill you," and Thor's like, "Not if I don't die."
Not if I don't die.
And he's like, and then Dinklage is like, "Yes, that's what killing you means."
And then it's just the subtle ways that he could. He's such a great actor because he can deliver a line like that, but you can read everything he's thinking and feeling in his face while just simply delivering a line with so much more weight than what it. I just loved that moment.
It was a good one.
There was a moment. There were probably two big moments where the CGI wasn't as crisp and clear.
Yeah, and that might have either been because generally they can make CGI really good.
It was so good in this movie.
They might have had a time constraint, so they didn't get those final touches on those one or two parts.
Yeah,
but otherwise, the CGI didn't take you out of the film like it does in a lot of films.
The one moment though that did take me out was the very end with Scarlett Johansson. It was kind of an end image where everybody, the director told all the actors to freeze as they moved the camera forward towards Captain America, and Scarlett Johansson's standing there staring at Vision. Her mouth is just for probably 5 minutes, and I'm like, that seemed out of character for her character. And close your mouth, you're in a jungle. So I kept looking at her like, close your mouth.
I didn't notice that.
Because it just, she ran forward, and then like all I could see was forever, and I just close your mouth.
So you may or may not notice that.
Yeah, you might be focused more on the background, the other characters. There's several different characters in that moment.
There was also one or two spots where we're sitting in the movie and I hear a little giggle from Jessica, and then like where she's hitting me on the shoulder because. What was it? Do you remember?
I have no idea. I did it a lot.
Yeah.
Anytime there was a cute little moment or something funny or something tied into a joke, I love the little jokes. I do.
The jokes were on too. They fit the characters well, and the interactions between the characters were.
The introductions. I am Groot. I am Steve Rogers.
Yeah, the meeting of each character.
They did it well because it's so many characters, more than even the Avengers, that you've got to put together. You've got to care about them, and you've got to look forward to them meeting each other. And I really I think they did a great job. I really did.
The Stark and Strange interaction was good too because they're both cocky, arrogant, super intelligent people.
I'm Doctor Strange. Oh, we're going with made-up names. I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah. That one you might have seen in the trailer. But their interaction was good because to their character they played arrogant. They were like two strong personalities, and it didn't make as much sense for Strange. I believe that Stark was right. Like, he needed to leave.
Yes.
And Strange was like, no, I'm going to stay here. And then he ends up getting captured. It's like, that was the whole... Come on. It's like, I know you're smart, and I know you're arrogant, but... But you get over it. They need to move the plot forward and have the guys fight on a different planet and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
I predict. I'm going to make a prediction for the sequel, to Infinity Wars 2.
Okay.
Because of Doctor Strange saying that Tony Stark essentially he really made sure that Tony Stark was alive. I predict that Tony Stark will do something to undo the whole movie.
Sure.
But he will die. That's the only death I actually feel is going to be permanent.
Okay.
That's my prediction for the next one. I really think there's something there. Okay. But so that was a quick little impression of Infinity Wars. I definitely recommend seeing it.
I'm sure a lot of people do.
Yeah.
It's not so much we're Marvel fanboys or DC fanboys or whatever it is. Like you hear on the internet and other reviews of people doing, we're movie fanboys.
Yes.
So if his movie's good, we'll recommend it.
Yeah.
And if the movie sucks, we won't recommend it.
And this one, the character development, the facial expressions, just the way the believable dialogue. It wasn't all cliches. It wasn't all like, oh well, here this has been in 500 movies. Let's just say it here. It flowed really well. I think the pacing was good.
Yeah, it never seemed bored or you didn't slow down.
Even because there were fast moments in action, and then there were slow, quiet moments, and it was a great balance. Like where they tried to do that with the last Star Wars movie, and it didn't work at all.
Which last Jedi?
The Last Jedi, where they tried to balance out 3 different storylines going at the same time, and it just never. It didn't interlace well. It just took you out of the movie every time they went to a meal. This one, you're talking with Tony Stark, you're over here with Peter Quill, you're over here with Thor, you're over here with Wakanda and all that. And it just flowed. I felt like I was being led through a labyrinth in a very meaningful, wonderful way where everything actually made sense that it was in that order, as opposed to me because you do get taken out of a movie when you're jumping from one person's point of view to another. You can. I never got taken out. I think the only time was the couple CGI moments that took me out of the movie, and it wasn't even for really much. But I really loved it. I loved it the entire time. Good.
So go check it out. If you haven't seen any of the previous ones, try seeing a few before you do. If not, you should still be fine. And it's definitely a movie-going experience, much better than what you would have at home. So thanks for joining us. Catch us later when we start tearing down movies that we don't like and making them better.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll get out some more of these movie reviews as well.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful day. Enjoy the movie.
Ciao.
Snip. Snip. Transition noises. Ta-da!
Oh no, it's gonna rain.